did it again, man. Welcome back to another episode of Goatworthy Reactions, where we mainly like to focus on the goats on this channel, and today we're going to be reacting to Falling in Reverse prequel. Y'all been asking for this for a while now, and we finally are here. If this is your first time watching me do a reaction to Falling in Reverse, just know that I like to do a deep down analysis. It's not your typical reaction. I will be highlighting bars and stuff like that, but Ronnie's such a deep thinker. We have a lot of relatability. There are different belief systems. He says a lot of things that are just thought-provoking, and I like to highlight those things. So if you're into that, then you might be into this. So let's get right into it. I ain't gonna waste no more time. Sign up for the Patreon right now if you want to see more Falling in Reverse. It's free right now. You have access to almost 300 reactions that are not on YouTube. So tap into that. Hit the link in the description box below. Let's get it. His visuals are always so crazy.
Dear diary, I've been searching for a higher me. I'm in the sky in the pilot seat, trying to stop my mind from spiraling, and that's irony. I'm just looking for a resolution. I just wanna be a better human, but it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if that came off rude. I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I admit I'm a little strange. I don't think that I'll ever change. I survived a whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate. I'm a cynical, egotistical, unpredictable, hardened criminal, and I could be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit it straight to your face. I'm unbreakable, irreplaceable, undeniably inspirational. I did everything I had available to make me the person I am today.
Ronnie! Let's do it, man. I'm loving this. Yo, one thing I'm going to say right off the bat, and I don't mean this as a slight, this gave me crazy NF vibes, and I'm getting back into NF next week. I don't know if it's the search or hope. I don't know what it is. It's just like the cinematic feel of it, but Ronnie's always been on that cinematic stuff, so I can't really say that, but it just reminds me of NF. I listened to NF first, so if I had listened to, Ronnie first, I would probably say, oh man, NF reminds me of Ronnie, but I was a fan of NF first, so that's why I say it in that order. I love listening and reacting to cinematic type songs, especially when it's deep thinking like this. They need a collab. If they haven't already, let me know if they have. If they have, I need to get on that ASAP, but if they haven't, they need a collab. Let's break it down, man. So we got Dear Diary, I've been searching for a higher me. I'm in the sky in the pilot seat trying to stop my mind from spiraling. I like the rhyme structures. Like, he's dope with the rhymes, though. He's like hip hop, metal, rock. He's a lot in one. I'm not hip on Falling in Reverse as much. I'm just a huge fan of him. But him and Jelly Roll, that's dope. I gotta check that out. And that's irony. I'm just looking for a resolution. I just want to be a better human. I like what he's getting into. The phrase Dear Diary, I feel like that sets like an intimate tone. Like, he's trying to bring you in, right? He wants you to really take heed to what he's about to say. As Ronnie is it's kind of like he's confiding personal thoughts. You know what I mean? So the mention of searching for a higher me, I feel like that suggests an inner conflict, a yearning to rise above his current self. Like the use of pilot seat, I feel like that's a metaphor that shows like an attempt to take control, yet the struggle to stop my mind from spiraling. That reveals like the challenge of just mental turbulence. So I like the wordplay with that. He's saying he's in the pilot seat, and then he gives you all these cool little metaphor wordplay things that relate to that topic, but he's talking about his internal battle at the same time. I like that. And in hip hop, the search for self-betterment, amidst chaos is a reoccurring theme. You know what I mean? And here it's tinged with irony. He says, despite being in control, Ronnie feels out of control. And I like that. But it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if I came off rude. I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I like the flow he's doing too. That's another thing. Like, I like to highlight the flows because his flows always put me like in a good mood. I just feel like he's like kind of bouncy a little bit, right? And meanwhile, the beat is not even existent yet right now. It's just doom, doom, doom. Like, I like all that. But I admit I'm a little strange. I don't think that I'll ever change. We see a mix of like frustration and just self-awareness, right? At the same time. So the lines, everybody's acting stupid, I feel like it indicates a sense of just disillusionment with society, really, right? Which is often, I feel like, found in hip hop when artists critique the social norms, you know what I mean? But side effects of abuse, that's significant. I would say it suggests like obviously his past trauma that has left him with scars, you know what I'm saying? contributing to a bad attitude, like he said. So from a psychological standpoint, I would say this could point to like unresolved trauma, just leading to like defense behaviors and, you know, making it hard to just trust or empathize with people. You know what I mean? But by saying, I don't think that I'll ever change, now Ronnie, like, he's reflecting of a sense of resignation and just like self-acceptance of these darker aspects. You know, I survived the whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate. I'm cynical, egotistical, unpredictable, hardened criminal, and I could be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit that straight to your face. Like, that right there gave me the NF vibes. Man, they need a collab. Imagine Ronnie and NF collabing. Imagine Ronnie, NF, and Ren collabing. Imagine Ronnie, NF, Ren, and Eminem collabing. With Tech 9. That's crazy, man. There's so much music we need in this world, and they're not giving it to us. He said, I'm unbreakable, irreplaceable, undeniably inspirational. Like, you can't deny his inspiration and his impact on the culture. Hip hop, rock, metal, all of that, man. And now he's tapping in the country. I can't wait to get to that record, man. But I feel like this speaks to survival and resilience, right? So escape my faith. That implies that he's overcome significant challenges, possibly redefining his own narrative now, which might be his journey that he's on. Calling himself cynical, egotistical, unpredictable suggests, I don't know, awareness of flaws that he might wear as a shield. There's a sense of pride though, right? He's unbreakable, he said, irreplaceable, which are just, I would say, also common themes in the circuit of hip hop, where toughness and resilience are celebrated, right? It's a braggadocious feel. It's like, it's what you're supposed to be in hip hop. Like, and if you're not that, you're corny. If you're not that, you're lame, or whatever it is. These labels they put on you, right? So a self-protective mechanism that he's building, and he's embracing these labels as part of his identity to protect against vulnerability. I used everything I had available to make me the person I am today. Like, what doesn't he speak to? He speaks to everything. He's reflecting on a theme of self-reliance, right? That's like a hallmark in the culture. Many artists, I would say, highlight making it against the odds. Like, if you made it against the odds, you came out the rubble, you came through the fire, it's something you're gonna rap about, and it's something you're gonna highlight. It's gonna be the meat and potatoes of your story. But I feel like he speaks to just the resourcefulness of like acknowledging that his identity was crafted from hardship, right? Not privilege. He needs you to know that. Those are some of the attributes that you're gonna respect about him, right? And he needs to wear that like a badge of honor, right? I would say he's validating his journey, and he needs it through that way, attributing his like survival to his inner strength. And these are the things that likely provided his purpose through adversity, right? These are the things that he leaned on to get through. These are the things that he kicked his own self in the ass for to get through. I like where he's going with it so far. So let's run it back a little bit. Look at the video, bro. The video is insane, bro.
Dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and when I woke up I was smiling. And that's irony. You talk a lot but you don't even know me. I'm just hoping that my testimony will inspire y'all to stop acting phony. Pardon me if that came off weird. I don't mean to be mean, I swear. I have been through a lot this year. I just want to make a few things clear. I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays it just feels so fake, so I'll cut the grass to expose the snakes.
Yep.
I'm unstoppable, it's impossible. You don't want to see the diabolical enemy that never stops is volatile, so I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic, you know where it's headed. I will never ever let up off the pedal. I got the spirit of every warrior in me. Ever back the fuck up, get out my face. You enslave the labor and you praise the fascists. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes.
Facts.
Faking outrage and being seen. A generation with no self-esteem.
Wake up.
It's time to rise up and stand against them. Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand, it's time to fight. Don't be afraid to twist the knife. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Prepare to die, prepare to burn. Abandon hope, it's not enough, cause all our gods abandon us. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Light the match, watch it burn. Angels die, let it burn from the start. When everything falls apart. Yeah!
did it again, man. He did it again. Dear diary, dear diary me. He's dear diary me. Dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and when I woke up, I was smiling. And that's irony. That's irony. Man, this section really, I feel like, suggests a yearning for acceptance and validation. But at the same time, a world that admired me. That just may symbolize like a desire to feel valued. You know what I'm saying? These lyrics are deep, man. This is deeper. This ain't just rap, bro. This is not just rap. If you think that surface level, you are disrespecting this man's craft. And I'm telling you that right now. I have some fallen reverse fans telling me that I'm thinking too deep into the lyrics and that he doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean this. I feel like if you don't think deep from somebody this deep, this dude is layered. You got to be insane to think he's just rapping just for rap's sake. Like, no, I'm not putting any belief systems on him, but I'm just saying this man is in a search always. He's always in a search. He's always confused. He's in a state of mind of he don't trust people, or he don't trust symbols. He don't trust things. He don't trust these made up spirits, right? These stories. He doesn't believe the stories. He needs concrete evidence. And he spoke about his testimony. Your testimony is the closest thing to evidence you'll ever get. Forget what people told you. Forget about, it ain't about religious systems. It ain't about any of that. It's about, for me anyways, it's about God and the word of God. Now, everything else you can take with a grain of salt. I understand that, but that's just where I'm at in my journey, right? And I just got to this place. I'm saying maybe a year ago. So, but at the same time, man, I just love how he takes you on his journey. I feel like he's doing this in real time. I really do. Somebody this deep, it ain't gonna be just. You don't rap about things like this for rap's sake. Like, nah, man. You're doing a disservice to his word. And when I would say his word, I mean Ronnie. You're doing a disservice to Ronnie's, gift, his talent. When you say he's just rapping for rap's sake, like, no, that's not what he means. He just means this and that. I'm just like, wow. That to me, that's more disrespectful. I can assume and be wrong. That's fine. But I'm trying to think deep about it, and I'm trying to pay the proper respects to the man's craft. But anyways, dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and then I woke up, I was smiling, and that's irony. That's irony. Yeah, man, I love this, man. The irony, it might reflect, I guess, the reality of waking up to a world where he doesn't receive that admiration. You know what I'm saying? Where he may feel like that. For, a hip hop or a rocker, those type of artists, dreams of admiration that often connects to, I would say, the genre's aspirational roots. Rock and hip hop have a lot in common when it comes to things like that, I would say. But more importantly, I feel like the dream aspect that he's using, I feel like it represents like hidden desires of suppressed hopes, right? Where he's hinting at a subconscious need for approval. You know what I mean? But deep, not just for his music and stuff. This is like he's talking about life, death, demons and angels, hell and heaven, God and the devil. Like, he is touching things. I love all of it because I know he's being true. He's being true. When you're being true, we don't have to agree. But if you're being true to the art, being true to yourself, and being true to the journey, to the search, right? Because the journey, guess what? The journey's forever. The journey's forever. There is no end of the road. There is no end of the road. That the journey. It ain't about getting over. You've heard it a million times before. It ain't about getting over to the top of the hill. It's the journey on your way up. That's what it's about. I'm sorry. I know you guys want a happy ending, but that's just what it's about. And that's just where I believe. But he said, you talk a lot, but you don't even know me. I'm just hoping that my testimony will inspire y'all to stop acting phony. Hey, pardon me if that came off weird. I don't mean to be mean, I swear. I have been through a lot this year. I just want to make a few things clear. I feel like Ronnie's he addresses his sense of misunderstanding or misrepresentation, right? Because y'all told me a lot. I haven't read too much about it, but y'all did tell me a lot that this man has been scrutinized by the media, and they've been tainted. They're trying to taint his image. They gave him a lot of flack. That happened to a lot when Eminem came out. The media was trying to kill him, calling him a criminal, calling him this, calling him that, accusations. And I heard that Ronnie went through similar things. So people like that are the most rebellious, man. They're the most fearless individuals, and they always become like this beacon of hope for others who may feel like they're in that same rut. And I feel like he's touching on it pretty darn good right now, right? But that's common in these themes of hip hop and rock. That's why I got to throw that duality of alignment there with the two genres. But artists often just feel like judged by their image rather than their true selves, right? Testimony that aligns with his roots in storytelling, where he may feel, or all artists may feel like they aim to share their raw experiences, hoping that can catapult people into understanding who they really are. See past all the BS, right? Like see past all the what the media says, the headlines and the tabloids. You know what I'm saying? But from a from my view, I would say there's a desire for a connection here, a connection and authenticity, but a frustration with how others perceive him, though. That's what he's struggling with. The need to make things clear, like he pointed out, that points to someone who's often misunderstood or just not truly seen. You know, he's letting you know how he deals with this BS, right? I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays, it just feels so fake. So I cut the grass to expose the snakes. I'm unstoppable. It's impossible. I like the flow he did. I like how he did on both verses, or I don't know if it was 2 or 3 verses, but on both, I like how he repeated that flow because I did like it when he started it off. But I feel like he's really speaking to just like the importance of respect and loyalty. That's really what he's touching on, right? So the cut the grass to expose the snakes, right? That line is a metaphor for revealing people who act, inauthentic, right? But actually, it's a sentiment that resonates deeply with hip hop. But he's saying unstoppable and I'm impossible. He's kind of like reflecting. It reflects on confidence, possibly as a defense mechanism to project strength. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to say it to yourself. You got to say it out loud. You have to project these things and put it in the universe. You know what I'm saying? For it really to like build up. And I do that sometimes too. Sometimes, some of us, I don't sound weird, but some of us, we talk to ourselves a lot. Like before I started recording, I started talking to myself. I start like prepping myself. Sometimes it's like that. But from a therapeutic lens, it seems like I would say like the distrust here could be, I'm not saying definitely, but I say it could be a product of just past betrayal. You know what I'm saying? He's probably dealt with that a lot in his life, just making it hard for Ronnie to form close relationships without suspicion. Eminem speaks about that all the time. He can't find love because he's been done dirty too much and he doesn't trust people. And that's what the fame brought him. And that's what the fame might have brought, Ronnie. It's hard to live. It's hard to live a life amongst the norm. You know what I mean? But you don't want to see this. Then he started going off. You don't want to see this diabolical side of me that never stops. It's volatile. He says, so I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic. You know where it's headed. I will never let off the pedal. Okay, so here, I feel like here he's warning others, right, of his volatile side, suggesting he has boundaries that others shouldn't cross. So the term diabolical, that kind of hints at like an anger, simmering below the surface almost, right? It's like a result of just past hurt that he hasn't touched on yet, you know what I'm saying? Unapologetic, an insertion of self-acceptance or rejecting judgment, or psychologically, this might suggest someone who's embraced their darker aspects as a means of control. So he's asserting dominance to avoid vulnerability. And sometimes that's just the way you have to go. If you want to protect yourself, protect your heart, protect your mind, protect your soul even. So you're a slave to labor and you praise the fascist. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes, faking outrage and being seen, a generation with no self-esteem. It's time to rise up and stand against them. Yo, it's crazy because this is so relevant right now with all the presidential election stuff going on and, Trump winning and all that. I feel like he's speaking to some people right now. And he did this 2 months ago. So that's dope, man. I feel like this verse really shifts from like personal to introspection, to social critique. Ronnie, he's challenging, social norms. Like he does that a lot. I mean, Ren does that a lot. I like people that's why I listen to these type of artists because they do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? And particularly criticizing just like, conformity, right? And the lack of self-awareness that people have in this world. So he says, I hope my testimony stops y'all from acting phony. Like, I like that. He's trying to be a symbol, right? To change the narrative of everybody's lives, of society. A slave to labor and praise the fascists. He's reflecting on his frustration with a system that he feels is exploitative. This is the kind of social commentary I feel like is central to his legacy of resistance and questioning authority. You know what I mean? The people in power, the people who make the rules, like question those people. Like, don't just take what they give us, right? It can reflect on a person who sees themselves as an outsider, and that could be Ronnie. You know, a rebellion against a system they feel they're oppressed by. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, mentally oppressed by, for sure. You know, I can't disagree with that. Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand. It's time to fight, he says. He's calling for empowerment, right? Amongst the people, though, acknowledging that the system itself is flawed and the system leaves people with post-traumatic stress. This is why they leech onto the government and depend on the government. We need to stop doing it, right? So this system is deeply, I would say, rooted in the history of speaking for the disenfranchised. From this point, I feel like the post-traumatic from a broken system, obviously that reflects on collective trauma, but he's suggesting that society's issue has scarred people psychologically. And this is why it's so hard for people to get out of this mental rut that they're in, right? Leaving a lasting impact on their sense of self-worth and, I don't know, an agency. Don't be afraid to twist the knife. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Prepare to die. Prepare to burn. Abandon hope. It's not enough. Oh man, I feel like what he's talking about now is like he's taking risk. All right, that's how far he's willing to go with it, and he's embracing, you know, the sacrifice for change, and that's what he's trying to put into the world. You know, twisted knife and prepare to die, because sometimes that's what he's saying. That's sometimes what it takes. You know, the price of Malcolm X, the famous, smart, intellectual, and proud Malcolm X once said, "The price of freedom is death." You got to be willing to go all the way. You might survive, but there's a good chance you're going to die. But if you go all the way and then you die anyways, but you accomplish the goal for others to live free, then you did what you needed to do. It's kind of like what Jesus Christ did on that cross, buddy. And I'm just telling you where my mind is at. But yeah, man, I think all that, like, so he said twisted knife and, you know, prepare to die. I feel like that signifies just a readiness, right, to endure pain and to achieve freedom. You know, a rebellious spirit that resonates, you know, with people all over the world. People, you know that rebellious feel. Some people are not brave enough to really step up to the plate. I'm not saying everybody's ready for that, but people have a desire to. Some people, when you see somebody like a hero, somebody do something really brave, and you see it on the news or you see it on online, you're like, dang, I wish that was me, or I would have did the same thing, or I wish I was brave enough to do something like that. Like, that's just that shared rebellious that almost everybody has inside of them. That's that bit of righteousness to do the right thing, not to do a good thing, but to do the right thing. You know what I mean? But he says, cause all our gods abandon us. Your sacrifice to break the curse, light the match, watch it burn. This is a powerful ending, man. He's expressing the disillusionment he has with faith and or institutions that were supposed to provide guidance. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking against those machines. All our gods abandon us. Suggests a loss of just faith, right? He has no faith. He's off the path, right? He's feeling let down by the very systems that are supposed to protect us. You know what I mean? But I don't think you should rely on the systems. But that's a conversation for another day. But anyways, the final call to light the match, he says, that's symbolic for starting something new, right? I like that. I like where he was going with that. Burning down the old, make space for something new. It's both destructive and hopeful, showing, I would feel, a resolve to find strength independently, not relying on others and their word and that made up BS that they've been preaching for years and decades and centuries, you know. So I was, when he went into that direction, I was taking all that in. I like the music video too, man. The music video was just dope, man. The music video was very inspiring. The music video, I feel like the visuals, they complement the lyrics, you know, with dark, you know, intense imagery that they had that it just symbolized like the internal struggle and the external just chaos that just happens in the world, right? Or that what happens in your mind is how he likes to describe it. So the setting is often, in his videos, the settings are often chaotic or confrontational, you know, aligning with themes of like rebellion against society or just inner demons and fire and burning. You know, the video's tone, though, reflects both isolation and defiance at the same time, which is not easy to do, right? So he's capturing, so with that, he's capturing the essence of someone who's both haunted by and determined to overcome their wicked ways. You know what I'm saying? The video, it may use like contrasting visuals of like darkness and fire, or, you know, to represent both the destructive and the transformative aspects of self-realization and change. So destructive and transformative. Sometimes the same act can produce the same result. Ain't that crazy? The same act, the same result for two different reasons. Some for bad, some for good. Burn it down, build anew. Now it's good. Burn it down, build something evil. Now it's bad. Same act, same result, different reasons. So it depends on how you're going to use it. I feel like the song is an introspective journey of just struggle, and I would say defiance, to wrap it up in a bow, reflecting on a personal, or for Ronnie, right, his personal flaws, societal pressures, a search for authenticity. Then I feel like Ronnie really, and in a lot of his songs, I feel like he wrestles with the dark aspects of himself, though, and the world, but ultimately embracing resilience through rebellion. Again, all the Fallen in Reverse fans, please don't take no offense to how I, take these lyrics in. I can only take heed to these lyrics with the mind that I have, with the experiences that I have. When I find relatability, I pull from it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this is what he means, this is what he believes, and this is who he is. He leaves it up for discussion, and I come to discuss it. You guys come to comment and watch. Now we have important subjects to speak on, not the BS that, this other music is giving us, right? I don't mind arguing over stuff like this, because this is actually good arguments. This is thought-provoking lyrics, right? This is his diary. We're arguing about the words in his diary. Most likely it's going to be some thought-provoking stuff. I ain't got time to argue about Megan Thee Stallion or the other bullish music that's out right now. So let's argue if you want to argue, you know what I'm saying? But let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it light. Thank y'all for watching. Catch the next one. We out.